So we're doing that all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your zodiac is, you're welcome here. The message is for whoever gets it. So the moon right now is at 13.5% illumination in Gemini. Gemini is kind of like looking at, the other side of people and situations, and, kind of like gaining a new perspective on things. Yes. So let's see how this lunar activity is kind of affecting you, because we're coming up on our new moon in Cancer on the 17th. So that's also going to have some pretty big effects on people, on their emotional state and, their everything. So let's see. Where are you at? What do you need to hear? And how can we guide you on your path, right? The shadow self. I actually don't hate this card. I know a lot of people kind of sigh when they see it. They're like, shadow work. The thing is, like, if you're going to be a light worker, or if you're going to dwell in the light at all, you have to be very familiar with your shadow, right? With the extent of who you are and, what you've been through and how that's molded you. I'm going to use my Tarot Noir. So, let's see. Shadow work is, it can also, it shows us what we're made of, it shows us our strengths, our weaknesses, things that we need to work on, and things that we should stop working on, in regards to like how it's affecting us and shit. So, there's a lot to be said about the shadow. I like the, Carl Jung's interpretation of shadow work and the way that it should be integrated rather than, the idea that like somebody can kill their ego, right? I love when people tell me that they killed their ego. I'm like, brother, you cannot kill your ego without killing your whole damn self. Like, you can't. That's like saying, I killed my personality, or I killed You can't. You can integrate it. You can accept it. You can grow with it. You can not let it, like, run your life, and you can not let it consume you, right, and all your decision making. But ultimately, you can't kill your shadow, okay? You can't, okay? Like, try standing in the light and then getting rid of your shadow. The more you stand in the light, the bigger your shadow gets, actually, So, you can't grow one aspect of yourself without growing the other aspects of yourself. So integrate it. It can be very positive. It can help you grow. It can help you, develop your sense of self. Nine of Cups. That's interesting. Because the shadow self is coming up as your first card, but the Nine of Cups is also wish fulfillment. Maybe your wish fulfillment is kind of bringing the shadow into perspective, right? Like I said, stand in the light and your shadow will be bigger, right? Alright, so let's elaborate on this Nine of Cups. Also, you could be manifesting something here, trying to get your wish fulfillment. Let's see. Let's get some context with this card. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of manifesting wish fulfillment here. We've got the Magician coming out too. So yeah, I feel like you're on the path of like trying to bring something to fruition, trying to make something happen here. With the Eight of Cups and the Moon showing up, right? The Moon is discovering exactly what you've got to let go of in order to bring that all into focus, in order to make it all happen. Eight of Cups is, walking away. The Moon is illuminating something, right? Illuminating a truth, right? I feel like this truth has a lot to do with the shadow self, though. Okay, well, what do you need to walk away from? Because all magic comes with a price, right? If you want something, you have to give something. Sometimes it's sacrificing your social life. Sometimes it's sacrificing a job. Sometimes it's, but there is a level of give and take when it comes to spiritual matters. Oof. Well, that seems rough. We've got the Lovers in reverse, Gemini energy, right? When I asked what needs to be walked away from, there could be a severance in a connection. With the Page of Pentacles showing up, it's like you could be receiving a job offer or like a career opportunity that might take you away from the relationship. That's what it looks like. Partnership. Why? 'Cause that's uncommon, right? Why? Because it's everything you wanted. With the Sun card. This is everything you've been striving for. Everything that you've been moving towards, right? With the Hierophant, you have specialized in this a bit, right? You're like spending all your time learning and growing and developing certain skill sets to make this happen. There's a lot of major arcana. So far we've got Pisces, we've got Gemini, we've got Leo, Taurus. But yeah, it's almost like a career path is just kind of like pulling you away from something here. And that's a difficult one. You can have love for somebody, but if you have literally invested so much of yourself and your life to like this thing, right? And then finally this opportunity that you've wanted forever shows up, it's like, it's rough. Okay. Also, roles could be flipped too. Let's throw that in there. I try to throw that into, like, but it does look like somebody's getting their wish fulfillment and it's pulling them away from certain connections. And with this wall in the background of the sun, it's like you had to overcome a lot to get here to make all this happen. And you've been manifesting a certain destiny, and that destiny might require you to walk alone, right? Might require you to kind of, how do you feel about that? That could also be like this thing that's being discovered at this time. The moon and the sun both represent illumination. So, we have Temperance in reverse, Sagittarius energy, a lot of major arcana. That means that you're on the main quest line, right? This is not like side quest stuff. This is like losing your temper, right? Feeling impatient with it, feeling like this is fucked up, right? With the Five of Pentacles, this is like feeling like a sense of lack or being like left out in the cold. It feels very disappointing to make this sacrifice for this thing. It's almost like but it's something that you've worked so hard for, right? It's something that you really have aspired for a lot. All magic comes with a price, bro. This is where you have to confront your shadow. You have to really ask yourself at the end of the day, which vision is more important? Yeah, because we've got the Tower, right? This is like, you ain't happy about it, you know? It's like, there's a lot of disappointment. It feels like shit's just kind of like falling apart. Two of Wands, this is being at a crossroads, right? Making that decision. And what's interesting here is he's got two devils on his, like, on either side of him. Not an angel and a devil, right? So he might feel like the influences, or you might feel like the influences around you, you know, they're not necessarily pointing you in the right direction. And that could also be like leaving you at this crossroads. What's the projected outcome here? Ten of Pentacles kind of represents family, right? Kind of represents like growing a life with a family, being very committed to that. And kind of like having that home life, you know, building a generational wealth and focusing on that, you know. With the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, it's kind of indicating to me that the projected outcome is that you might have to leave your family, right? right? This is like simultaneously good and bad. Like maybe you're working overseas or something, or you're gonna be. Maybe you're going to be like put in a position that requires this of you. Oftentimes, I feel like it's better not to like dig too deeply, but I'm also an Aquarius and I love digging deeply. So, why does this job require that? Nine of Swords, Page of Swords. To protect them. To protect yourself and others. Page of Swords is like a presented threat, right? Somebody who presents a threat. And Nine of Swords is kind of like that self-preservation. Like, it's not like you want to not have a family and lover and all that. It's that it's not safe to have one. What are you, in the cartel? Like, let's see. It's weird because it's like having this opportunity. Everything you ever wanted. Right? With the world in reverse, you're not going to just close out this opportunity. Three of Cups, I see you kind of celebrating about your opportunity and kind of being stoked about it. At the same time, understanding what you have to give up for it with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That's really interesting. This is probably the most interesting reading I've done thus far. And I don't know, what else do you need to hear? Queen of Wands. You notice the staircase that she has to go up to get to her throne. She climbed the stairs, right? She climbed the mountain to get there. So somebody who is admired, somebody who inspires people, somebody who lives her truth or their truth. You know, I'm saying it because it shows up as a queen, but doesn't necessarily mean that you're a female, right? Tarot is weird like that. Gender ain't no thing in tarot. It's kind of beautiful. You know, and this is also kind of diving into your sense of purpose, right? The Six of Pentacles, I see that this is actually going to, like, you have people who support you through this, right? Some people who are kind of helping you navigate this. Ace of Pentacles in reverse, letting go of something, right? That keeps showing up. If you notice, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, she's always holding on to this pentacle. It's like the thing she values the most, right? And being kind of in a situation where she has to let go. Well, that imagery actually matches up with this Ace of Pentacles in reverse as well. You know, you see the hand and the pentacle, they're both in reverse. There's a sense of letting go, not grasping. We have the Empress in reverse. Which is interesting because it's the opposite of the Queen of Wands. You could be dealing with like somebody being jealous of you, or like wanting to kind of intervene on what's happening here. The Ace of Cups, though, it tells me it's not possible. Ace of Cups is you fill your own cup, right? You're very independent. You take care of your own. Love yourself and all will fall into place. King of Wands in reverse. There could be people in your life that aren't what they appear, right? There could be people in your life that are being dishonest with you, or that don't want to see you create this for yourself. Two of Pentacles in reverse. This is why you end up making the decision you do, because you're like, it's actually not worth it to stay. Because a lot of these people that you love and care for are not really being authentic anyway. Right? So let's grab some Kali cards and cut this one short today. This one's kind of sad, bro. This could also talk about something that you've already done, you know. Maybe we're just getting acquainted in this reading. But it looks like you don't feel like you can trust a lot of people. You know, with the King of Wands in reverse, the Empress in reverse, the Page of Swords. There's a lot of people showing up not looking like how they present themselves. And maybe at one point you're like, well, you know, I love this person or I love these people and I'm going to stay in this group and do this thing. And maybe you were going to go one way, but then it was like, as something is discovered, you choose to just kind of forfeit that entire ideal. Yeah, because this is like Kurukula, right? This is literally saying pretty much what I've been saying this whole reading. To receive your divine inheritance of blessings and support for sacred fulfillment, certain karmic conditions that resonate at a lower frequency need to be cleared. Kurukula signifies a time of rapid movement on your path and freedom to attract what you want and need. Let go of that which does not belong in your world. Release and you shall receive. So, yeah, there's definitely this energy of having to let go of people, energies in your life that are not helping you to be successful on the path that you've been manifesting for yourself. So don't be afraid to cut them cords. You know, and I mean, it might not even just be the job, like specifically like how do I put this? Help me articulate. So basically, yeah, it could you know, be definitely something that is like say for example, if you want to join like the Peace Corps, right, and you have to go do a stint 2 years in another country, right, it might be a lot easier to make that decision when you realize that the people around you are kind of fake and not really going anywhere, right, or they have bad intentions, they're full of shit, whatever, or if you want to go work at SpaceX and you have to travel within the country even just to go do that. There's this level of having to let go of the way that life is in order to get there, right? Like, you may have had this image like, okay, these are the people who are going to be in my life and this is how it's going to play out, but it's like things are not playing out like that, and you're kind of forced to make a choice here. You're kind of like the universe is like, you get what you want. How bad do you want it? It's like when the Little Mermaid is making a deal with Ursula, right? And she doesn't, she doesn't necessarily want to give up her voice, but she loves the shit out of Eric, and she's like, guess what? Like, he's worth it, it's fine. Like, Ursula had that whole part of the song where she's like, you've got your looks, your pretty face, and don't underestimate the importance of body language. Yeah, sorry, I love that movie, but that, and so I feel that, like, I'm saying a lot too much. That's what I feel like. Yeah, there's a level of sacrificing for what you desire the most, right? And that sacrifice is not going to be an easy one. That's going to be a hard sacrifice to make. That's why it's a sacrifice, right? The gods still require sacrifices. It just doesn't mean necessarily death, It could mean a death to your social life. It could mean a death to your relationships. It could, there's definitely something being sacrificed, though. And, if it's the most important thing, do what you must, right? So would it be, right? It's not like you'll never be happy again. It's not like you'll never have people in your life again. And if they were already not trustworthy, then you're not really losing anything, right? If they were already not trustworthy people, they're not that much of a sacrifice. Because they were never really on your side to begin with. So, yes, that's pretty much what I have for you. Namaste. I love you guys, and I will catch you later.